Hi, it's Dirk with Remodel AI, and I'm going to be jumping into another user request to help remodeling this entryway with a couple different things. She wants to install some carpet, add a plant, and a side table, and maybe a new chandelier. So I don't know exactly what she's envisioning, so I'm going to show you just a couple different options and how to use the app to explore it and find out which options you like. So I'm going to jump over into the app. And I am going to work in the interior editor. That's because we're going to be doing several edits on this, and in editor makes it a little bit easier to do several edits. And I'm going to load this from my Google Drive, which I believe I just downloaded. There it is. And so she said she wanted carpet, she wanted a side table and maybe some plants and maybe a new chandelier. So she doesn't want a full remodel. So why don't we start with the floors? There's a couple different ways to do that. I could use the new floors, but that's going to replace all the floors. And I'm assuming she wants to keep the hardwood here. So instead, I'm going to use the reskin tool and only reskin a certain area of the image. So I'm going to go, you know what, actually, before I do that, I don't know what this is. I'm going to use the replace tool to get rid of that, just to clean things up. I'm not even going to put in a prompt. I'm just going to replace it with whatever the AI suggests, and we'll see what the AI does give us. That is good enough. These all look fine. I just replaced it with nothing, which is kind of what you would expect if you don't write anything in. So I'm going to accept that. So now our image is this. Now I'm going to use the reskin tool. Now that we don't have to deal with whatever this was. I think it was a bag or something. And I'm going to say I want to reskin the floor. Now, the number one tip I have for doing this is don't try to be too accurate with the mask. You want to make sure you cover everything and then some. So you could go back and say, you know, okay, I don't want to reskin that wall, but make sure you don't leave a little bit exposed. Because if you leave a little exposed like this, it's going to know there's not carpet there. So when I ask it for carpet, it's not going to do it correctly because it has to match this. So make sure you cover the entire floor. It may also struggle with this transition here, but we'll see. So, and the next thing to play with is be prompting. I'm just going to try carpet entryway and see what it does. You could try, you know, different colors and more descriptive verbiage around what you exactly want. This would just take experimentation, but we'll just try this as a starting point and see what we get. This one kept the vent. This one didn't. Just a couple different styles of carpet. Again, I didn't specify color, so it kind of just left it up. It did seem to get the transition more or less correct. So I'm just going to pick one. This one looks okay. There's a little bit of a design here. But, you know, if you want a specific type of color, just spend more time working on the prompt and figuring out what you like. So now we can click the undo button. First step was remove the bag. Second step was adding the carpet. So now I'll use the replace tool again, and I'm going to replace some area of the image. Let's say this big area, and I'm going to say entryway table and plants. So there's not a lot of plants and there's no table here, so it's going to end up putting it here, which is the only area it's allowed to change. But again, it may take some experimentation with the prompt here and the size of the mask. Generally, the more area you give for the AI to work with, the larger the mask, the better the results are going to be. The first two had no table. That one's kind of cool. I don't like the plants necessarily on the floor. But again, you know, you can sit here and experiment again and again and again with these prompts, or just hit generate again, and you're going to get different results each time you hit generate and see what you like. Now let's try entryway table with plants on top, entryway wood table with small plants on top. I like that a little bit better. That one, it messed up there's no wood table here. So again, I didn't give it a ton of area to work with. So I could maybe give it a bigger mask, but you can just hit generate a couple times until you find something you really like. I'll stop there and just use this one, but you get the idea of, keep experimenting, keep playing with. And then what was the last request? I believe the chandelier. So that again would just be replace. You go up here and you say, I'm going to replace this area of the photo. Oops. Undo. I'm going to give it plenty of area to work with in case we want to see a big chandelier. Modern entryway chandelier. That's kind of cool. That's a little bit big. I kind of like that one. I would probably work with this prompt a little bit though. And say maybe chandelier, simple, clean, and minimalist. I don't know. I'm just thinking, something to give it a little bit of a cleaner look. Because I don't think a huge chandelier would really fit here. This is probably an 8-foot, 9-foot ceiling. I kind of like that one the best, to be honest. But again, I would play with this a lot until you find something you really like. And again, I didn't specify colors or any type of chandelier specifically. I think also a wood fixture might work here as well. And so here's our steps that we went through. 1 was remove that bag. 2 was install the carpet and then add some plants and tables and then maybe change the chandelier. And at this point, you could do a couple things. You could always do a full remodel. That's going to remodel everything. So, new paint wall, new doors, everything would be restyled completely. So that may or may not, including the background, that may or may not be what you want to do. But the other thing you could do is just upscale. So you can go to Creative Upscaler and probably turn the strength down pretty low because you actually don't want to add tons of new details. A nice entryway. You don't have to type in a prompt, but that'll guide the upscaling process. The reason I usually do this at the end is because it'll get rid of these small borders where we did the replace operations, where you can kind of see where we've manipulated the image. So the upscale process tends to fix those. And let me zoom out now. And so that's a little bit better looking. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can use mostly the replace and reskin tools to do separate things to a room without doing a full remodel, just to kind of figure out different ways that you can organize and install different fixtures and things to make the room look a little bit different. Hope that helps, and thank you for your request.